Hey friends, it's Miss Johnson. Hope y'all are doing good. So today we are going to be talking about something called Cinquain Poetry. It's a really interesting kind of poetry that I think y'all are gonna like. All right, so before I tell you about Cinquain Poetry, I want to read you an example just to see if you can notice anything interesting or different about this poem. All right, ready? Planet, graceful, ringed, spinning, whirling, twirling. Dances with neighbor Jupiter, Saturn. Now, again, I want you to stop and think about, what do you notice about this poem? What do you notice? Do you see any patterns? Do you see anything interesting going on with the line breaks? All right, so a cinquain is a 5-lined poem that has specific rules for each line. Now, I've underlined cinq, C-I-N-Q, because cinq is actually 5 in French. And cinq also sounds very, very similar to 5 in Spanish, which is cinco. Now, I'm going to make myself go away so y'all can see the words, okay? So, cinquain is a 5-line poem that has specific rules for each line. Now, the rules of each of the 5 lines cause the poem to take a unique shape. As you may have noticed here in our example, the way the lines and the words are laid out, it takes on an interesting shape. All right, so let's talk about the rules for each line. The rule for line number 1 is that it can only have one word only. Now that word is going to be the subject of the poem, which is typically a noun or a person, place, or thing, or animal. See here in our example, number 1, planet is the subject of the poem. Now, line number 2, there must be 2 adjectives that describe the subject. Now, remember, adjectives are describing words. So our 2 adjectives in our example are graceful and ringed. And again, these 2 adjectives are describing the subject, which is planet. All right, so line number 3, the rule is that there must be 3 verbs or action words that end in ing. As you can see, the verbs we have here are spinning, whirling, and twirling. And all of these verbs are helping to describe the subject, which is planet. All right, now line number 4 is a 4-word phrase describing the subject. So here in our example, the 4-word phrase that describes the subject, which is planet, is dances with neighbor Jupiter. Such a cool line. All right, now the last one, line number 5, is one word that is specific to the subject. So here are one word that is specific to the subject, which is planet, is Saturn. Okay? So let's look at another example. We have dog, loyal, brave, loving, playing, guarding, best friend of people, pet. So here in line number 1, dog is the subject of our poem. We have 2 adjectives that describe a dog, loyal and brave. And then line number 3, we have 3 action words, 3 verbs ending in ing that also help to describe the subject, which is a dog. And line number 4, best friend of people, has 4 words that also describe dog. And number 5 is another word specific to dog, which is our subject, and that is pet. All right, one last example before I let you try it out on your own. This one is called penguin. Black, white, waddling, swimming, leaping. Tuxedo in cold water. Emperor. All right, again, so line number 1, penguin. That is the subject of our poem. Number 2, black and white. Those are our 2 adjectives that help to describe penguin. Now, number 3, we have waddling, swimming, leaping. These are 3 verbs or action words that also help to describe penguin. And line number 4, I think this is such a cool line, tuxedo in cold water. Now remember, for line number 4, you can only have 4 words that help to describe the subject. So line number 4 might be a little tricky when you're trying to write your own. And number 5, the rule here is that it can only be 1 word, and it has to be specific to the subject of your poem. It has to be specific to what your poem is about. And so emperor, as some of you know, is a specific kind of penguin. As we can see here, this is an emperor penguin. All right, friends, I hope y'all enjoy writing your Cinquain poem, and I will look forward to reading them. Okay, friends, have a good day.